Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for X-Men Issue 4, 2024. Oh, that is a really good one of the Juggernaut. And it's interesting because this is more done like a phone. As you can see, this thumb down here for like the home button. Other than just having Juggernaut in here, this doesn't really pertain much other than like the watching of the phone and all that. So let us crack into this. Now, interestingly enough, the interior art is not Stegman at this point, though granted he probably was involved, but it's interesting to get a different kind of art style here. It's not like it's completely and utterly jarring, like going from a hyper-realistic Iron Man artist doing armors and shit and going to Ghost Rider, Blade, Doctor Strange kind of one where it's all esoteric and kind of crazy. It's not that jarring. This is interesting because we start off with magic, and it's like, what's kind of going on here? As she's evidently using her phone, and we're getting kind of numbers and stuff. It's not about winning, the factory, because I never win, not at chess, and she's playing chess with someone. Winning isn't the point. The point is to keep from losing for as long as possible. Eliana, we've got action. What action? Cyclops says it's the upstarts. The broadcast just went live. It's like, ooh, interesting. And this is interesting to get inside of her head because she kind of takes center stage in this issue. Mutants. You lot hate mutants, don't you? I mean, I can't say I blame you. Mutants killing humans, humans killing mutants, and then Krakoa. What was that all about? It's like, okay. But that causes a problem. Because, my dear public, I, Trevor Fitzroy, am a mutant. And I want to be loved. I want to be adored. Trevor, old boy, what's to be done? What, with this mutant contagion, mutants are more hated than ever? Aha! I've got it. What if I, Trevor Fitzroy, and my upstart, killed these new mutants for you, and streamed it live right to your phone? You'd like that, wouldn't you? No. And it's like, I know that that sounds to like an insane kind of proposition, but some people, would pretty much just kill people that are even would be considered within their own group just to be liked by some other kind of group. So, yeah, and that pretty much goes with, like, I do kind of like what they're doing with the live streaming kind of stuff here. You'd love it, and you'd like and subscribe. Upstarts just went live, but they messed up. We isolated the landmarks immediately, visible in their video, so we've got their location. Strike team is scrambling to Detroit. It's like, alright, Cyclops, no nonsense on this one. We're short-handed. Quentin and Psylocke are in the middle of a psychic rescue, so I have to stay at base in case something happens, which means Magic, you're running the mission with Temper and Juggernaut. 3 X-Men, no psychics, no Marauder, a bit lean for a strike team, isn't it? It's like, shit, yeah, and I love this because I didn't know exactly what was going on with, like, Quentin and Psylocke, but I like how this sets us up into a different kind of team dynamic here. Cyclops is staying back at base to coordinate all of these different kind of teams. Quentin and Psylocke, and now this strike team. I know it's not ideal. That's why Beast will be going with you. And we essentially get Beast complaining, I'm not even supposed to be here today. That kind of works because I just recently had watched Clerks 3, and it's just kind of interesting that it kind of works out like that. He's evidently got really important work that he's got to be doing. It's like, alright. Because he's like, what? Me? Scott, I am otherwise engaged. My work here precludes me going into the field, or have you forgotten how important this project is? I have not, but I'm not going to have another mutant murder live streamed. It's not as if I don't care, Scott, but I do. Scott, I do, but my work. Your work can wait, Hank. And I kind of agree with Scott. Like, I don't even know what Beast's work is at this point, but they're trying to murder a mutant. Pause that shit and try and help that person out first. Order of operations. My work can wait? Have you forgotten what's happened to Magneto? What could happen to any of us? We are all of us ticking time bombs. It's like, okay, that is important. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But this person's about to be murdered. Back up the team. Hey, I'm team leader and you're on my team, McCoy. That's what you signed up for. And if you don't like it, go hide in a shanty with Rogue and her crew. X-Man up. I'm like, shit, you don't have to shit on them like that, but it's interesting to get Magic's flavor for how she leads. It's like, shut the fuck up, you're on my team. And I really kind of like that Scott's like, ooh, yes, I made the right call. And Beast's like, So we get to Detroit. You really ought to have invested in cardio, old girl. Not just for our sake, though we do enjoy a good chase. No, for your sake. After all, A healthy heart is a healthy start. In fact, Ocelot, why don't you get that heart out for me, Let's show our viewers the consequences of a sedentary lifestyle. Any person should rightfully have the expectation of not being murdered and chased by fucking drones like a goddamn animal by a bunch of assholes. Which, by the way, these upstarts look kind of crazy, kooky, and nutty. Do I know that much about the upstarts? No, but I'm kind of liking this to see what's kind of going on here. Hey, killer television. No, I'm giving you one chance. Surrender. That's just an awesome team entrance there, especially with her as the leader with her giant fucking sword. And then also kind of really works to give a tease for Spider-Man issue 60 there. Beast is like, fuck this noise. So let's get to it. Surrender? Really? Where's the banter magic, the back and forth? Our audience expects better. Let's see how your audience of snuffcast perverts like you, when I gut you, Fitzroy. I'm like, thank you for the banter there, Magic, and fuck this asshole. Now that's more like it. Upstart, start it up. Good lord, You saw the chance, you took it, it worked, and I love Beast just being like, god damn it. And I'm really liking the different kind of paneling and stuff. They're really changing it up, and especially over in this one. Rah, now, you should know better than to try to come at a fellow teleporter like that. And I love how his powers are explained to me without beating me over the head with it. It's shown and told. Of course, I can only move myself around spatially, but my time portals are another thing entirely. I've got all sorts of nasties from all sorts of timelines on tap. That is interesting and makes him a very dangerous one. It's like, oh shit. Have a little taste of the 2013 Mount Etna eruption for starters, as he's pretty much got like lava flowing on her, which is very well done art. Thank you. Like, I pretty much got into this comic because I'm like, okay, Stegman, cool. Like with the art style. Jed McKay, cool. And even though this is a different artist, you're doing good. Fucking A. And now we get back to Juggernaut, and interesting kind of movement. I do love that Juggernaut is so big that he's got to have that big-ass panel. You and me, big man. You and me. Orbit. Orbit. Certainly. What? Hang on. Everything's... what you doing to the ground? As things are going a little crazy as shit, as we then get showing and telling of powers. Thank you. It's a hard thing to do. Then we see him fall the fuck down. It's like, what the shit? Oh, hey, there it is. We have Ocelot in orbit, so you must be, let me guess, odious? Offensive? Objectionable? It's Orifice. As he then, kind of similar to Fei Long, it's like, shit, of course it is. Orifice, don't. Orifice! As Beast pretty much jumps around orbit, and then Orifice blasts at you. After all, it couldn't very well be observant, could it? Because otherwise, you wouldn't have fallen for the oldest trick in an already very old book. It's like, yeah, Beast. And it's interesting seeing Beast's banner in this combat scenario where he's like, I need to deal with other fucking shit. Wolf. You three. You was on TV once, weren't you? Oh, horse, right? See, Ecstatic issue 1. Cool. Thank you for telling me that. What are you doing killing mutants? And I was like, okay, good to kind of bring that up. Juggernaut. You see me murder people on TV as part of a game show and you're wondering why I'm still doing it? Sweet fame, baby. It's like, oh, god damn it, you fucking asshole. Like, even though I'm doing, like, YouTube videos and shit like that, fuck that noise. Who gives a shit about the fame? It's like, I just like talking to people about this shit. It's interesting because then I'm getting to understanding and seeing and analyzing all this different kind of stuff for these kinds of things. And I love that when what I read and what I watch and what I think about like pops up. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool to kind of talk about. When you look like I do, you'll do anything for it. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Arrgh, as he's trying to pretty much put down Beast on it. It's like, oh, fuck you, asshole. While that rad abomination from the 23rd century tries to make a meal of you, I've been meaning to ask, do we really only rate 4 X-Men and not even Cyclops? I'm like, Trevor, go get fucked. Again, I love different kind of page layouts like this. I know I'm bringing that up a lot, but it's been happening more and more where we get kind of more experimentation, even though it does follow certain kind of set patterns of like utilizing a certain percentage of the page for like almost full kind of parts, and then doing smaller kind of panels for certain kind of movement and momentum of what's going on, but it just works. You're not worth a full team, Fitzroy. Ouch. Besides, my plan's working well enough. You took your eyes off the prize. It's like, there you go, Ilyana. And seeing her pretty much throw her sword in the end to teleport away. I'm like, ooh, yes. There you go. And you lost the mutant. It's like, yay! They won. They won. Temper getting her out of there. I'm like, yeah, okay. We're far enough away. You should be safe. They've got the X-Men to worry about. They're not going to chase you anymore. I've got to get back and help. Am I really a mutant? Is it true? And I don't blame her. There's a lot of weird fucking shit that happens in the Marvel Universe, so it does stand to reason to at least question it at first. I believe it is, and you've been put in terrible danger because of it. I'm sorry. There can be beauty and miracles in finding out what you are. True, and I agree. As frightening as it can be. But there's also the world, which is a different one for you now than it was before. You don't understand. There isn't a world for me. Not like this. I do understand. Like, I really like that kind of bit there with Temper talking with the mutant. And maybe we can help you. You're not even a mutant. This has nothing to do with you, as we see Orpheus blasting Juggernaut. Yeah, no. Yeah, I ain't a mutant. But as long as I wear this X on my head, this has everything to do with me. I make it my business. Because it ain't a symbol, it's a target, a crosshairs. And I wear it right here. So anyone who thinks they're going to take their shot has to look me in the eyes. I'm like, that's an interesting kind of one there, Juggernaut. I'm intrigued by that. So they see what's in those eyes. So they see what I'm going to do to them. As Orpheus is like, oh, fucking shit. As we see him advancing on him. Oh, and we also get the X-mentions if you want to check those out. Though granted, they are still kind of building up so that we are still getting pretty much repeats and everything on certain kind of things. And it's interesting that this came out at the same time that we've got, like, Avengers 18 that has popped off. Enough of this. I don't have time for this foolishness. This beast is just like, fuck you, you assholes. I have work to do, important work, and I am being wasted here. A little bit of yes and a little bit of no. You're helping save a mutant. Well, you certainly made a mess of things, X-Men, but don't worry. I cut the live feed just when things were turning. I'll clean it up, all up in the edit as far as the world will be concerned. The upstarts will have won this little fracas. Is that all you care about, Fitzroy? What the world thinks? Of course it is. You X-Men may get off being feared and hated. It's like, fuck that shit. I mean, granted, that does take a toll on you, but why would you want to be loved for just murdering and being a psychopathic asshole? I'd rather be loved for being who I am and helping people and just talking and chilling with people. But I want the very worst of them to love me, because I am the very worst of us. It's like, okay. And I'm going to give them the very worst things to see, to watch, to revel in. Because as long as they love me and hate and fear you, you can't win. No. Because at a certain point, if that group is small enough, it doesn't make a bit of fucking difference if they're the worst of them and the worst of you, and you're just a small little number, and the X-Men are able to turn people and help people and build more on hope and love than what you revel in your hate and everything. But we see him teleport out, we see more people with the Upstarts logo, and we see the X-Men there as the teleport goes away. That's a really kind of cool effect. Later, the Upstarts hidden HQ. You failed. You did not. Our numbers are through the roof. People can't get enough of us. You should see the views. Upstarts humiliate the X-Men as we see this stupid fucking editing. I don't care about views, Fitzroy. If you're that desperate for happy brain chemicals, I can graft a tailored dopamine pump in you. Gross? No. I'm not that much with the person that's doing what's going on, but they're not off base. It's the new mutant I wanted, which is the whole reason I sponsor you and your little band of murderous rejects. If you want mutants, we can get you mutants. With Krakoa gone, they're all over the place. Hell, take Orpheus if you like. He is very hard to look at. Fuck you, man. He's part of your crew. No, we've been over this. I don't want just any old mutant. I want the new ones that have been popping up. that makes sense. They want to see what's kind of going on with it. Then we get this crazy-ass page. I don't even know what the fuck's going on here. Better known as Sugarland. And I'm like, who the fuck is this crazy-ass looking bastard? Someone's cracked the X gene. Someone's making new mutants out of flat scans, i.e. humans. It's like, oh, that's kind of crazy that they're turning people into mutants, potentially. I want to know who. I want to know how. Because if that's the way things are going now, then you better believe that Sugarman is going to get a taste. It's like, alright. Similar to kind of like the Inhumans, depending upon how that kind of process works. That's crazy. The X Factor, they got away. Fitzroy is a teleporter. Of course they got away. And the mutant, Jennifer Starkey, she came back with us. She was too frightened to stay in Detroit. Fucking of course. So, we get this going on as we see. She's bearing up well, considering her life, as she knew it, has ended in an explosive manner. We've put her up in some of the new quarters we've established, but we are running out of space. Lapsa. Thank you, Glob. It's cool to see Glob doing shit. That's kind of cool. So I hope we get a little bit more in the factory HQ at some point, so that way we get a little bit more of them. Maybe check in with Magneto. We've had a good kind of balancing act here so far. It's very hard to juggle all these different kind of team members, but I do like that we get little check-ins every now and then. We're expanding more quickly than I expected. We'll have to reclaim more of the factory, make it livable. How is Ileana in the field? Good. Better than we were at her age. It's like, yeah, she did well. She executed the objective. She was born for this. When it's not humans, aliens, or robots killing us, we're killing each other. It's all the same. It's all the fight. I fought this fight my whole life. And this really makes me connect with Ileana. I'm like, I get that. We don't need to do that with people, but for some reason. Which is why I know this. We can't win. Redacted. But it's never been about winning. Just trying to keep from losing for as long as possible. That's all we've got. So that's what I fight for. I get that. As we see that she has been texting Colossus. And we see Colossus's hand. It's like, cool. And then we get the X-Mail. And then we get our checking in with Psylocke and Quentin. While the X-Men engage the social media sociopath upstarts, Kate Omega and Psylocke dive deep into the mind of a troubled mutant. Silence. Psychic rescue in progress. But Quentin Quire has never been good at keeping his mouth shut. No fucking shit. So, I really enjoyed this because I liked seeing the team kind of divided up. Cyclops kind of in the background, being kind of like the man in the chair. Ileana taking that kind of role and getting a deeper dive into her head. I'm not really that well versed with her, and it was kind of cool to see her kind of view of trying to put off losing as long as possible. And I liked how the chess game and her being able to do stuff with Colossus, her brother, was nice. How she led the team and how she was able to effectively take out the upstarts enough to get that new mutant and help them out, and that they need more space at the factory. Hank is trying to do something because evidently something's wrong with Magneto. People can be like ticking time bombs. That could potentially be linked up to what was going on with Cyclops in a previous issue, trying to keep it together. We'll have to see what's going on here, and I like that the next one will kind of dig into what Psylocke and Quentin Quire are doing with a psychic kind of rescue. I'm really enjoying this and seeing what's kind of going on with the X-Men. It's not that I have never been interested in the X-Men. I've liked the cartoon and really had a kind of affinity with that, but really getting into this, understanding this, I mean, helps that Jed McKay's the one that's writing it. And I actually really liked the artist that they got for this one. Not that Stegman's bad or anything like that. I actually got it because Stegman is an interesting and good kind of artist. And this one, I didn't know who they were or whatnot, but I'm glad that I got to check them out and think that they did a really good job of having their own kind of style that works with what we've been seeing so far in this series. And I'm hoping that they like pop up at another kind of point in time. So, and I really liked understanding Fitzroy and his kind of insanity. I'm like, oh god, fuck you, you fucking asshole. And then hopefully we get some more on the Sugarland, Sugar Man kind of thing, because that's just fucking weird and crazy. I'm like, okay, let's see how this kind of works. And the main thing of how we're getting new mutants and flat scans getting turned into mutants. A lot of interesting kind of cool stuff. I can't wait to see how it kind of comes all together. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.